Good morning, fish heads. Welcome to the Southern Anglers Radio Show, coming to you live via the Toyota Tundra Studio, presented by Sparks Toyota, where the dealer's always in.
And by Key West Boats and Marshall's Marina, Lake City, and Georgetown, where every day is a boat show.
Every day. And by the Freedom Boat Club, where your boat is cold, but it's waiting.
Hey, it's not that bad a weekend.
No, it's not that bad.
And by our good friends at Monarch Roofing, we're excited. Our good buddy Bert Williams is going to come bring us some breakfast this morning. Of course, you know, we don't need breakfast probably where we're sitting. We're probably going to eat really good for lunch here in just a little bit. But we are at Judy Boone's in Murrells Inlet. We are Judy Boone's Family Tradition Kitchen. Sitting out front, Jamie has welcomed us this morning. And, hey, we got some giveaways.
Yeah, we got a lot of giveaways.
We got a lot of giveaways right here.
And some nice ones, too.
We're not giving away all those, just so you know.
Yeah?
But we do have some giveaways. And I'll tell you what, let's do it first person to stop by. Let's do it. First person to pull up.
What are they going to get?
They're going to get a choice of a gift certificate to Judy Boone's or to the wonderful Driftwoods.
I like me some Driftwoods.
Yeah.
I know it.
That's over there by my house.
That's
I
over
eat there
by your
frequently.
house. You know, Bean Beaver has, Charles Beaver, Charles Beaver has amassed quite a group of restaurants between Fork and Links, Driftwoods, and here. Judy Boone's, and we are excited to offer you an opportunity to go enjoy it and test it if you haven't been there yet. Again, we're right here on 17 in Murrells Inlet. You can't miss us. Look for the Trilogy truck right in front of us. We're warming up.
Yeah, it is definitely warming up.
We're warming up.
It was cold earlier, but now it's definitely starting to warm up a little bit.
Well, I know one thing.
I got that taken care of today. I finally wore my nice jacket that Shannon bought me.
Yep.
I turned it on.
With the battery pack.
I was waiting. You got electric underwear or
Oh,
something?
it's battery pack powered. Battery powered.
It's heated.
I can see.
Oh, it's on high, too.
I can see the steam
It's on
coming.
high.
You see when he pulled that zipper down, the steam. You better hold that steam in.
I'm going to tell you, I borrowed that jacket. All right, it's a great concept. It really is. I borrowed that jacket for Kentucky last year for deer hunting. It's a great concept.
Did you get too hot?
No, that battery. When you're sitting next to a tree, leaning against a tree, that battery kind of rubs your back.
Oh.
It does.
Well,
but
what I guess I should have showed you where the battery pack's at. The cord, you can actually move it around to the front pockets. It's got slots in there to run the wire through.
a friend would have told me that.
Yeah.
before.
Now, a friend would have loaned you a heated coat, and you would have used it had you not left the damn battery at the hotel room or wherever y'all was staying.
No, that was somewhere else. I did take the battery battery with me the one time because
that was when y'all was duck hunting.
yeah, duck hunting. I left it.
See, I would think electric jackets and duck hunting wouldn't go together. You know, electricity and water aren't the best conductors of each
You would
other.
think. You would think. But isn't that waterproof? It is waterproof. Yeah.
Okay.
It's waterproof. I'll tell you what, though, if you want to stay nice and warm and be ready for duck season, go down and visit Palmetto State Armory, too. Visit Palmetto State Armory. But go down and see Will. Paulie's Island Outdoors. Will's got you set up. I got down there this week, hung out with him. And if you're looking for steel shot, you know, in years past, there has been some issues about mid-season finding steel shot. So if you want some, he's got it. Everything from every price range, whatever you want, he's got it. Heavy steel. I'm trying to remember all the others. He's got some of the, the good value, the real good value shell that I like so much.
Oh, the Rios.
The Rios. Got Rio. Stop by Paulie's Island Outdoors. Go down there and check it out and get set up for duck season. And, you know, duck season is coming right around the corner. But more importantly, you know, we talk about these cold temperatures. Trout.
And they're here.
Trout. Are they here?
They are here.
So I've had.
Ooh.
They are here. I got confirmation yesterday. I'm not going to call who his name is because he's kind of a secretive guy. He's not one of our captains, but I saw a regular guy who fishes Murrells Inlet.
You mean a trout fisherman that's secretive?
I saw a post last night that they left the dock at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. They got back at 5:30 and caught their limit.
Nice.
All right. So
And it's on Facebook. The pictures are there.
that's what I needed to
Any
hear.
nice ones yet, or?
Yes. So you know what just happened?
You making my
Full
day.
moon.
Full moon pushed those trout in, and the cold temperatures is knocking down. The biggest challenge we've had is pinfish. I mean, who wants to buy $50 worth of shrimp, go out there and feed it to the pinfish to catch 2 trout?
How What's the temperature now in the inlet?
It was in the low, like mid 60s, because remember it was 80 degrees last week. So I would
water
imagine,
temperature water temperature was 70 degrees. Hang on, 70 degrees on, I want to say, Sunday of last weekend. Somebody sent me their trout review and why the trout was not here, or if they were here, why the pinfish were so numerous. And it was 70 degrees.
Yeah.
But it's got to be lower. It's got to be.
I think it's mid 60s, maybe upper 60s right now.
It's river warmest I could find was 67.6 is the warmest I could find in the river the other day. So,
but I can tell you, even our Captain Nick, who drives Carolina Girl, took a good friend of ours out, and they scouted some trout and introduced him. Our good buddy Drew introduced him to his first ever cork fishing.
Oh yeah,
I can tell you, I was
nice.
getting text messages at 9, 10 o'clock last night. Man, this is awesome. This is cool. I can't wait to do this. So I mean, there's another example. You know, somebody who's never done it. You know, he traditionally thrown artificial live bait, floating that cork, and 5 years old or 50, it gets you excited.
I do not mind being the cork dork.
I love the cork.
I don't mind it a bit.
I don't mind being the cork dork. And I'll tell you the other thing. When you look back, and we're going to talk a lot about the Marshwalk Mafia Inshore Slam.
Here comes our winner.
Marshwalk Mafia Inshore Slam. We're going to talk a lot about it. That's our winner. We got a winner.
We got a winner.
Winner, chicken dinner. Yeah, let's give him his choice. You are the man. All right. You get a choice. Dripwoods or Judy Boone's? There you go. Congrats. What's your name? Ricky Ray. Ricky Ray is your winner.
Congratulations, buddy.
Thank you, Ricky. Thank you for listening, my friend. Thank you so much. All right, so,
That's awesome.
The trout tournament's coming up. Marshwalk Mafia Inshore Slam, November 18th. We're going to talk a lot about it.
Yep.
But it's typically this time of the year, and I'll tell you, I went. Tony didn't go with me. Winston went with me. We went, and you were talking about the pinfish. I think we left with 10 dozen, stopped by to see Ronald at Inlet Rocks and loaded up on some of that shrimp from him. We went out, and, dude, I watched the live scope. It was crazy. I could see the trout. The trout were there.
They're there.
The trout were there. But you would drop that bait back. It'd get 5 feet from the boat, and the pinfish in hundreds would get up to the bait first. And the trout were under it.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people probably don't know this. Pinfish don't feed at night. A lot of my friends fish at night, and I was getting some pretty good reports, of guys throwing, artificial lures at night.
Yep.
These trout have been here since the end of September. It's just, like you said, I mean, it's like
you remember that?
You can't even get a bait to them.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder, like, I mean, are they isolated in areas where there's no pinfish? Because, I mean, the fight for food's got to be on,
You remember that day in the tournament last year when we had to go under them and not go with the cork?
Mm-hmm.
And
difference maker.
Yeah.
It Mike should have tried that when you was there the other day and them pinfish was getting there.
We did.
It might have helped. I don't know.
Well, I say we did. Russ. That's what I had to give Russ. I'll tell you, Russ in the bobber rod.
Not good?
Well,
I would think
he still hasn't figured out the speed in which to bring the rod back as he's letting the line go. So about every third drip, every third time he lets line out, the line gets wrapped around the end. So then he's got to walk up front so he can bend the rod to you so you can untangle it and then keeps going. It's just my favorite thing to do. I think Tony agrees.
Yes.
Tony knows.
Yes.
I know you love it. I know you getting into artificial because you're in that highfalutin white collar crowd now. But
the rubberneckers.
If you paid attention last weekend to the World Championship in Georgetown, the boys that was on the red every boat catching fish was popping cork.
Yep.
They was killing them popping corks, dude.
I watched it.
It was awesome. It was awesome.
I'll tell you what, we do want to give a big shout out to Georgetown County, and to Bassmasters. What an incredible tournament last weekend. And I'll tell you, my friends at the Claw House did Dave Mercer right. After the show, I called down, talked to the Claw House. I got Dave down there with the camera live on Bassmasters. I think he said we actually have texted this week some, but 36 oysters he ended up eating while he was there.
I figured once he got a hold of them, he would enjoy them. So.
And it
You
was,
said he likes them raw.
yeah, he liked them raw the best. Tony was with me in the truck when he texted me the other day. He said, "Man, I missed that weather down there." And I said, "Dude, it was 34 degrees this morning." He's like, "What?" So, but man, to hear every single angler get on that stage and talk about Georgetown County, talk about Georgetown, talk about our fishery, talk about the way they were treated, that is just awesome. And
By the people and
another
the
reason to be
businesses.
proud of where we live.
Okay.
Another reason to be proud of where we live. And you know, to see all the people come out and support, you know, the county and support these anglers. You know, I missed Sunday, unfortunately. Well, fortunately, I was on my way to Hilton Head, but I missed Sunday. But to watch it and listen to who all came up. Jamie Huff came up to support the guys. Other captains from Charleston that weren't eligible came up to support them. It's a big sport, and they're coming back. I promise you, they'll be coming back.
Well, that's the name of the game. Is Georgetown is one of those places.
It's so diverse, dude. There's so many different things you can do.
I've said it my whole life, and Charleston is the big city. Murrells Inlet is now very, very close to being a big city because a lot of people are moving here.
Yep.
Georgetown is like probably one of the best fisheries on the southeast coast, and it's still hidden. It's still not talked about. It's still kind of secretive. I mean, there's stuff that goes on down there that you won't find anywhere else.
You know what? My uncle was here from Arkansas, and he used to live here and fish bass tournaments with me and my dad for 20 years down here. He caught a flounder up Sampit River the other day when he went bass fishing with my nephew, and he said, "I didn't even know flounder lived in Sampit River." And I was like, "Really, Uncle Bill? Are you kidding me? All the years you fished in here,
Yeah.
It's nothing to catch a flounder in Sampit River on a red shad worm." And he's like, "I didn't even know." And he said Carter didn't know. And I was like, "Well, now you know." So
I always
secret's
tell that
out.
story. A good friend of ours, he's traveling the world now, Captain America. We went fishing, and one of the first times I ever went fishing in Sandpit River. And it was like, okay, never used to seeing water this dirty. Like, what are we going to catch? And I always tell the story. But, like, the first 3 fish I caught was a largemouth bass, a flounder, and a redfish. And I'm like, oh, my God, you just combined everything I enjoy. This is cool,
But that's what they did when they went. They went to the notorious 3V chemical, had popping corks, using fake shrimp, and Dwayne caught a mudfish from around the jug pipe. My Uncle Bill caught a flounder, Carter caught a flounder, and my Uncle Bill caught a striper, all in the same hole.
I mean, where can you go do that?
I'm going to tell you, this is. I'm going back because I can remember how excited this one was right here. Him and Kerry G-Man were going down there as much as they could. This is when you were just cutting your teeth.
Yeah, 2 to 3 times a week.
They were going down there fishing in the Sanford River, and boy, they were loving it.
You couldn't get us off the water.
Nope.
Why would you? Good Lord, if you like to catch fish and different species of fish,
Even the scenery, like going back in some of those little channels and stuff. I mean, you feel like you're in a different country some areas.
Inglis put up a post. Me and him was fishing down there a couple of years ago. He said,
Name the river.
I'll give anybody. No, he said the creek.
Name the
he
creek.
Said, I'll give anybody a $25 gift certificate if you could tell me where me and the Bassmasters fishing. And I'm looking around.
That was yesterday.
And
Was it Penny Royal?
No, we were in.
we was in White's Creek.
White's Creek.
And we had a bunch of guesses, but and somebody finally got it. But it's like that place. You look at it and you think it's just like it's a dead marsh, dead trees. It's got more life in it than you'll ever know.
Oh, yeah.
It is insane.
Hey, Scott Todd just texted me, and Scott, man, safe travels to you. Those boys are world travelers now, by the way.
They've been traveling.
They just got done in Florida working. Now they're loading up. Poor guy. He's heading to Texas now to go work. And, when you're the best.
I mean, that's
when you're the best at what you do, you've got demands.
Yeah.
And that's Father Sons Welding and Services. And I'll tell you what, Scott, we can't wait to see this trophy.
I know. I can't wait to see the trophy
For a couple weeks. And, I know you're busy, brother. I know you're busy. But we're going to find a boat for you to fish if you're going to be around that weekend. We'll find somebody to get you on the boat with.
And if you need any help, English, go ahead and text him how to spell mine and your name to go on that trophy. That way you'll be prepared and
y'all been on enough trophies. You need to share the wealth. Now, you can't keep them all.
Well, you know what? That's one tournament that I love to fish. Mm-hmm. Me and English always do good in it. We've been fortunate to win it. But it's one of them, I don't care who wins it, dude. It's just a fun time with all you guys. And whoever wins it, I'm props to them. They get bragging rights for the next year, and I'll give them a pat on the back for the next year.
Jason and I had this conversation yesterday. You know, a lot of there's some people that are scared of some of the competition.
Yeah, but why would you be scared?
There's no reason to. Exactly. Can I just tell? All right. So once again, I know I've said this over the years. For me, it makes it that much more fun.
Yeah.
For me, I want to go out there and have a chance to beat somebody that does it every single day. Because when I do it, I know I can secretively pat myself on the chest and go, hey, dude, time on the water is definitely very important. But sometimes we just get lucky.
But I'll tell you this. I'll go back to what happened with us last year, and I won't discuss details because maybe it'll happen this year. But me and my
you went pre-fishing.
Yes, but me and my partner, Chris Osmond, who fishes up in Little River, we went and fished what was my go-to holes. When I mean go-to holes, I mean I had whacked these fish for a week straight.
Yep.
Guess what happened pre-fishing? They're gone. So here we are 12 hours before the tournament, scrambling around, trying to find something, and we went into the tournament unsure of where to go. And this is why I think anybody has a shot.
Yep.
During the tournament, we started working in one little area that we had caught fish, but I had not caught fish there in a while. And lo and behold, we started catching them. But that was a prime example. Even the guys who are out there on the water every day, those fish can throw you a curveball the next day, and you're sitting there stumped.
You better know it.
If you're in the right spot and you got the right strategy, you got just as good a shot as anybody else. And not to mention, I mean, there's some really good money and prizes in this thing. So what? And you think about it. Let's say, you can't get all three. But if you happen to land, a big flounder or something,
yep.
I mean, you're going to get acknowledged on stage as you caught the biggest flounder. You may not get all three, but you can win the big flounder. You can win the big trout. There's even other categories like black drum. So basically, if you go out there and fish and you just happen to catch one really good fish,
yep.
you're going to get to stay on stage and get your name called out and get a check in your hand.
So this year, for the first time, we're going to guarantee first place $2,000.
$2,000 guaranteed.
Now, I guess it is all contingent upon all the raffle tickets selling, but I think we're going to. I don't think we have any trouble. So
we're going to guarantee $2,000.
$2,000 for first place. That'll be the biggest payout for first place ever.
Yes,
it will be, without a doubt. And in the process of doing that, we're going to raise money for SALT, Student Angler League Tournament Trail. Something that's near and dear to all of our hearts, and Rayburn and the crowd. Best of luck to all of them. They're fishing today.
Yeah, they're fishing today.
But we are going to. So we have $50 raffle tickets, reverse raffle.
They go on sale.
We love to do.
They go on sale today.
If you're looking for them this morning, right now, you can stop by Inlet Rocks. Ronald has them up there. $50. We're gonna do a reverse raffle. We're going to start it on the 17th. Hopefully, we sell them all out. We'll do some raffles on the 17th at the captain's meeting, and then we'll finalize it at the awards on the 18th.
Yes.
Last ticket drawn wins $2,500.
$2,500.
And the 20th, 40th, 60th, 80th ticket all win a great prize as well. So you got additional ways to win.
Yep.
And, again, you're going to help SALT. We're going to make a big donation to SALT. $2,000 to first place and $2,500 to the winner.
And I'll go ahead and tell you this right now. And if Rayburn's listening, he'll immediately text me. But I was going to announce this ourselves. MIFC is going to match every dollar that is donated to SALT through the raffle. MIFC is going to match it.
Nice.
Rayburn, did you hear that?
Woo!
So,
Rayburn.
Even Jenna heard that one, boys.
Well, if you want to get in these tickets, Jason's going to have them. I'm going to have them. We'll definitely have them at Inlet Rocks. We'll talk to Perry's and get them down there.
Murrells Inlet Fishing Charters will have them 10:30 to 6 every day.
Every day.
And
So-
if you need any, message any of us. We can meet you, get you tickets.
Yep.
Whatever we need to do.
And
They're going to sell out fast, so
they'll
definitely
sell
don't
out.
wait till
They'll-
the last minute.
And that's why we did it at $50.
Yeah.
You know, it's
I
$50.
need to go ahead and reserve one.
Save me a couple.
See, here
Well,
we go.
There's Jenna.
Phone,
Jenna saving
look at the
one.
phone lighting up. Ding, 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 ding. Here we go.
All right. Well, hey, look, I'm looking in front of me. I got, I feel like I'm cheating on them, but we got McDonald's and Krispy Kreme in front of us, and that is all thanks to our good friend Bert Williams from Monarch Roofing, who is now sitting in with us.
Good morning, guys. Good morning.
Good morning, brother. Hey,
How are you doing?
Have you already been to the gym this morning?
No comment.
Hey, it's the weekend. You're supposed to splurge.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, we need to talk to him about the Inshore Slam because
I mean,
you know,
it's
his boss
yeah.
likes to fish. His marketing director likes to fish too.
Well, you know what his
You know-
Instagram name is. I know he's fishing.
Flounder pounder 23, baby.
That's 23 over there, baby.
We got to get them in the tournament.
Yeah. This is going to be a really big tournament. Like I said,
This is going to be the biggest it's been yet.
yeah. Oh, yeah. The amount of sponsors and people that have shown interest. I mean, in the past we've done kind of a smaller tournament, but this year with the support of everybody, I mean, it's going to be a big tournament.
Yeah, thank you, Marshall's Marine, once again for
Marshall's
coming on as
Marine.
title sponsor. Again, it is the Marshall's Marine Marshwalk Mafia Inshore Slam. Right down there at Murrells Inlet Fishing Charters, and we normally do have a pretty good party and a lot of smack talk on the 17th or the captain's meeting.
What happens on the 17th is when you get a bunch of fishermen together and you maybe throw some of those Marshwalk cold drinks.
Yep.
The Murrells Inlet sodas.
Yeah, the Murrells, the Murrells Inlet adult drinks.
Yeah. Rum punch. Yeah.
Yeah.
What happens is you have some sluggish people the next morning and a good time that night. So
Well, it's fun, and we'll, as we get closer, of course, we got 2 more weeks, we'll talk about it. But, a lot of game plan goes into that tournament, too. Here's the deal. You can either go into that with no game plan and just go fishing.
yeah,
But I think strategically, you have to have a game plan set in your mind. Tony, we always do. We know where
Yes.
within an hour of where that we want to be at certain spots. We know where we want to be, and we get it. We try to fish based on that, and then about halfway through the day, when things hadn't panned out the way they're supposed to,
you panic and
then,
just throw it out the
start
window.
panicking and start. Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's an interesting tournament too because I mean to win the overall tournament you have to have
catch
all three. So I mean you got strategy. We're allowing up to 3 people teams. 3 people is the max. So in theory you could just have one person dedicated to flounder, one dedicated to trout. And one could be swinging for the TWTs or whatever you want to do. Or, like you said, you got a time frame. Maybe you want to catch your trout at this tide. You want to catch your flounder at this tide. You want to chase the red at this tide. So I mean, it's cool strategy. But again, going back, if you get 2 out of 3, I mean, you still are going to win a nice prize. You're going to win money. You're going to get acknowledgement in front of the best fishermen in all of Murrells Inlet. So I mean, it's a great time.
So let's clarify one thing. If no one catches all 3, then it's the largest aggregate.
Yes, if there's not one single inshore slam weighed in, then it reverts back to the heaviest combination of 2 fish.
Now, I'm pretty sure last year we struggled on the flounder. That was flounder was our nemesis.
This time of year, it's it can be tough to catch a keeper flounder.
One of
for
the
some
salt
reason or another,
teams-
I usually don't have a problem with the flounder during the slam tournament. That's usually one of my easy catches, but
I left them last year during the trout tournament, which was 3 weeks after that.
Yeah.
I left them I had to go to that party, so I left at 11 o'clock. Him and Kenny went back fishing. How many keeper flounder did y'all have?
Dude,
All trout fishing.
was insane.
So, I mean, it's anybody's tournament. It is. And for those that are scared to fish against certain people, I'm sorry. You know what? I'm sorry.
And even we got some negative pushback. We're like, well, it's opening day of duck season. You can miss one day of duck season to go fishing.
Who cares?
You could go the next day. I mean, the ducks don't all fly on one day and then the season's over. So
It's
think
over.
Think about it. This is a once-in-a-year opportunity.
Oh, Captain Sarah is not fishing. She's going duck hunting.
Oh, I'm sure.
Well, she can do both. She can hunt that morning out there in the inlet
you're-
for ducks, and then pick
No,
up a
no,
rod.
she put too much work in that John boat painting it. She's
Yeah,
going.
that-
She's
that-
going to Georgetown.
I understand that. She has put a lot of work in that.
She's going to Georgetown, but that's okay. That's okay. We'll miss you, Sarah. But it's going to be a great time. We're looking forward to it. Raising money for salt, and we got to go to break. We go to break real quick. Jenna, you ready?
I am.
All right, we go to break real quick. We come back on the other side. We talk to Bert, talk about that golf tournament, how it's going, and chit chat with him for a little bit, and then we've got some great interviews, including everybody's been asking, where's Senator Goldfinch? Is he back? Where's he at? Well, I tell you what, I got a great interview that they did. It's a preface to a podcast coming up in next week, but him, Rick, and Rick Austin and his wife Heidi were out in Colorado chasing elk, and
Nice.
they recorded from the campfire at camp.
Wow, that's
It's
awesome.
a really good It's a really good podcast. We're gonna tease you with a little bit of it, and play that. And then Jane Powell from Santee Cooper Country that Tony and I had the pleasure of fishing with. Jane and I talked a little bit because this also is the time to go to Santee. If you want to go catch stripers, big stripers, now's the time to go to Santee and also crappie. So we'll play those interviews. But for now, let's go to break. This is the Southern English Radio Show on the Gator 107.9.
Of Lake City in Georgetown, where every day is a boat show.
Every day.
And by the Freedom Boat Club, where your boat is waiting.
And by Monarch Roofing, who is sitting right across the table from us.
I would say he should have brought that back in for us.
I know. All right, let's. Hey, Bert, come on. Let's talk about this golf tournament that
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
has grown exponentially, and I know you're ready. December
Fourth. Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm like super excited.
You still got spots open?
It's coming together. My teams are full. I've got a few people that haven't paid, but basically the teams are full. I've got corporate sponsorships left, or the main spots, and you do get a team with those corporate spots. So they can reach out to me at 843-504-7818, and I'll be happy to explain those to them.
Where is this tournament?
It's at the best golf course on the Strand. It's Wichita Plantation, which is basically a private course.
Yep.
So it's a very exclusive, and it's going to be a great time, man. We're just super excited. We got great prizes. We're going to have a low country bowl at the end. Josh McKay's playing. We just got a lot going on.
You what you do is really good. You guys raising money to help veterans.
Absolutely. That's what it's for. I mean, that's all it's doing is it's for
100%.
shelter for veterans. And with what we raise, which we're hoping will be about $30,000, we'll be able to do about 12 roofs replacements for veterans.
That is
That's
great.
awesome.
That's nice, dude.
How do you get nominations for that?
We work with some veteran associations, and we get a lot of referrals on who really needs it type things. And then we go and kind of interview them and look at it and see what we can do for them.
That is great, man. I'll tell you what.
Thank you for that.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
thank you,
brother. Yeah, we're happy to give back, man. Martin's really big on giving back to the community and especially the veterans. So.
Well, he hired the right person to head that up. Is that? I mean, what is your job? Is that it?
That is my job. I am business development, basically. Brand ambassador. All I do is go out and call on like builders and realtors and property associations and things like that. Anybody that we can get a roof from, that's my job. And just going to every event I can possibly go to and just spreading the Monarch word.
Well, your niece got married last Saturday.
Yes.
And during the day Saturday, you had to go to a fundraiser.
Yes,
You had
yes.
to go
Trunk
work.
or treat, man, at the service house. That was a fantastic event. And I don't know if you've been out there to see it yet. It's the house on Peachtree right up by the drawbridge. And we did a brand new roof on it. But if you look at it, it looks like it was just meant like it had been there because it blends in perfectly.
Right.
Jake did a great job picking the color on the shingle, and they were so excited and so appreciative.
That's great.
So that was awesome to be able to do that.
That is.
So yeah, I had a busy Saturday last week. Yeah, busy week period, but yeah.
You're always
I was
busy.
going to say, you're always busy.
Always hustling, baby.
Always hustling. You got to. Well, everybody's always needing some roof repairs.
Yes.
And we talked about this when you were in the studio with us, but most people don't even realize it.
Yeah, that's the thing, I mean, if you got a small leak, that small leak can turn into a major problem. So don't let it go. I mean, people do that, and we see that all the time. But, we're happy to come out. All you got to do is call, and we'll do a free inspection. We call it a roof tune-up. We go up there, we take video, we take pictures, it's time-stamped. You've got that for when we do get a storm for your insurance agents. But if we see a little minor damage up there, we're going to go ahead and fix it for you for free. So, I mean, that's pretty strong. So,
Well,
That's real strong.
How about the Inshore Slam? Do you think you got a chance of maybe getting a team and getting in?
Yeah, man. Now that y'all tell me that, I'm gonna talk to Tripp and see if he wants to fish in it with me.
You know, I can see a boat of 3 guys out there in those blue shirts with that Monarch crown. I call it the crown.
Team Monarch Roofing.
baby,
Roofing.
Terrorizing the inlet. I see it now.
Yes, I think it's a great idea.
Yep, I think you need to come fish it with us and at least come to the captain's meeting and hang out with us because you all.
Oh, absolutely.
You know how to have fun, have a good time. That's for sure. Oyster roast. You going to that today?
I'm gonna stop by there. I told him, I would volunteer a little bit, so I'm gonna try to help with some of the cleanup at the end.
Are you? Okay, good. That was the big thing, and I was getting ready to mention that. So Stacy reached out to me 2 days ago. She's got plenty of people for setup. Unfortunately, she didn't have a lot of people sign up for cleanup. So it's real simple. All she needs to do is to get everything from across the street at Wicked Tuna Crazy Sister back over to the 2020 office there. And if you can, find her around 3 o'clock. If you're at the Oyster Roast, find her around 3, and she'll get everybody pointed in the right direction. Like she said, an hour tops it should be to finish up and get everything cleaned up. I'm going to try to get over there for a little bit, but I have an event at 4 o'clock that I'm helping with, so I've got to be over there to celebrate Mr. J.T. Tompkins qualifying for the Elite Series, something that, it's pretty doggone special.
That's really special.
For a 21-year-old from Myrtle Beach, to now be on the biggest stage in bass fishing.
Hey, there's only 80 people in the world that gets to fish on the
right.
elites. So when you say 80 out of how many millions of people is in the United States, that's
pretty awesome.
That's pretty strong.
Yeah, I'm super excited to get with him. I can't wait to talk to him, and I was going to try and get him on the show today, but I know he's trying to relax a little bit. But I want to talk to him about how his sponsorship game is going because, that's the big thing.
Oh, yeah.
The big thing is they all fish for money. They all try to make a lot of money on the water, but most of them make most of the money off the water before they get on the water. And I think JT, without a doubt, is going to be a great face for a lot of companies. And there's no doubt. If you just go back and listen to Trilogy Outdoors podcast with him, you can listen to a 21-year-old that sounds more like a 42-year-old.
Yep, 100%.
That's been out there for years fishing, and I mean, he understands every aspect of it, not just the competition side of it, but all the off-the-water stuff. So
he's definitely going to make us proud.
And having the history of being in the Bassmasters Classic. That was really cool last weekend when Dave Mercer sat with us and talked to us about JT and said he put his arm around
What
JT.
he said to him? Yeah.
And said, "You really like this, don't you?" He said, "Mr. Dave, I've got to get back here.
And he said, I got to figure out how to get on that stage.
And I got to figure out how to get on that stage. Well, he got on the stage.
He did.
He got on the stage, and I can't wait for the magazine to come out next week. Wow. Greg Holzhauser hit a home run with a incredible one-on-one with JT. And Greg's not a big bass fisherman, but he understands the game and the sports, and he asked some great questions. So that'll be out next week in Trilogy Outdoors magazine when it comes out. And I'll tell you what, Bert, we're going to let you warm up, and we're going to warm up a little bit. But while we're doing that, I tell you what, again, I told you, the Senator is back. He is in physical therapy mode right now, recovering. But he was able to sneak out to Colorado to attempt to guide his friends, Rick and Heidi Austin, on an elk hunt. And they had a really cool campfire talk.
That's awesome.
And we're going to tease you with a little bit of it here. Miss Jenna, you got that tuned up over there?
I do.
All right. Well, we're going to tease you with a little bit of it. And later in the week, you'll be able to listen to the complete podcast at Trilogy Outdoors. But for now, we'll just give you a little bit of tease and then go to break, and we'll come back on the other side of the break, and we'll talk some more fishing because there's a lot to talk about. We've got a bunch of guys right now fishing in North Carolina. We'll see if we can get a live report from them off of Hatteras, fishing in the Meat Fish Slam. But, Jenna, if you're ready, go ahead and crank that up. Welcome back to the Southern Anglers Radio Show, coming to you live via the Toyota Tundra Studio, presented by Sparks Toyota, where the dealer's always in.
And by Key West Boats and Marshall's Marine of Lake City and Georgetown, where every day is a boat show.
Every day. And by the Freedom Boat Club, where your boat is waiting.
Hey, and I'll tell you what, by Monarch Roofing, our good friends over there. And I also want to talk about one other thing. My good friend Sean Bilton, friend of the Southern Anglers Radio Show here, several months ago, or back about a month and a half ago, maybe, was the victim of a theft of all of their music equipment, everything.
Oh no.
It was in a storage area. It was in a storage area, and unfortunately, they are bit by bit piecing things together, and they are piecing things together. But I want to talk real quick. If you want security, we're talking boats here. We're talking trailers. We're talking everything. Pond Road Storage, our good friends from Elvis Services, Pond Road Storage, located right here in Murrells Inlet, conveniently. 5 minutes from the public landing, 5 minutes from Walkawachi. If you want some incredible storage options, secure, and I'm talking the most high-tech security system that you'll find anywhere, go over and visit our friends over there. Great options. You got indoor storage, outdoor storage, all kinds of stuff, climate control, whatever you want. Stop by and see those guys, but I feel bad. I was with Sean last night, and he's actually going to be playing some music this afternoon at our event, and it's terrible. They lost over $30,000 worth of sound equipment.
That's horrible. And some of that stuff's probably irreplaceable.
Yes.
A lot of that band equipment stuff. They come out with newer models and stuff. So some of that stuff they probably had for years, and now they got to recoup all that. That's absolutely horrible.
Yep. So we're going to do something here over the next month or so to help Sean raise some money to get some of that equipment back. Sean's a great dude. If you've never met him, and one hell of a singer.
Oh, he's a great
and a
singer.
good fisherman.
Yeah, he is.
And a good fisherman.
Yes, sir.
He caught some big old flounder with us. Go ahead and, Don, grab that headset till Tommy gets back out here. We do have Chef Tommy is here now on the premise. We'll get him out here with us. In the meantime, we've got Mr. Kayak Mudfish, a.k.a. Mr. Mudfish, Don Neesmith sitting in with us. And, Don, let's talk about Dawu Lake.
Dawu Lake is fun.
Man, it's funny
interesting.
because I'd never heard of it before you started going
I'd
down.
never heard of it until 5 months ago. Lived here my whole life.
You love going down there.
And now I do. I absolutely love that little spot. It is cool. Very,
mean,
very cool.
Now, you did say last week you got to witness some alligators eat
Yeah.
the buffet.
Yeah, I went down I went down Saturday morning, and there's 4 hogs that had been killed, wild hogs, and somebody had looked like, I guess, took a machete, cut the heads off, and then just pushed them out in the lake. And the alligators are having them some breakfast. I had to wait about an hour and 20 minutes before I even thought about getting in the water.
I would have done the same thing, but
I'd have just left. That's a
Well-
wrap right there. Four gators.
I was trying to better a number, and that's an hour and 25-minute ride one way. I'm not turning around just to come home empty-handed. I was going to make a day of it.
this place sounds awesome. And the
It's
pictures you
gorgeous.
put up,
It
it's
is
gorgeous.
especially in the mornings when it's the smoke on the water. Man, I'm telling you that any photographer that would like to come down there, I'll put you in the yak, take all the pictures you want. Spoonbills, for some reason, love that place. You'll see 40 or 50 in one tree.
Now, where is this?
Insane.
Is it?
Rosie's?
Yeah, the big curve.
Yeah, roseated.
I
I see what he's talking about. Yeah.
I've never seen that many of this bird in one spot ever. Other than this little lake just has some weird. It's just weird. It's
Where's it fed from?
Santee.
Santee River.
Yep.
So, as far as freshwater fish, you obviously you crushed the mudfish.
Chain pickerel, gar, long-nosed gar, brim, and I haven't caught them, but the boys say in the springtime, April and May, that place is loaded with warmouth, whatever you want to call them,
And bass and
bass,
crappie.
and they're all everything's in there. It's amazing that anything's in there for as many mudfish are in there eating everything, but everything is in there. It's insane.
So, I would have to say the crappie seems like they would be in there.
They are.
They are.
They are.
I just haven't caught one out of there yet. You put anything that I use for crappie. The minute it goes under, it's a mud. 90% of the time, it's a mudfish tattooing it. And if you're on a little tiny crappie rod, 4-foot crappie rod with a 6-pound mudfish, that's a fun time.
Have you been sure to check all these mudfish and make sure that they're not a snakehead?
Yeah,
Because
I haven't. No, they're all muds.
I don't know the difference. I've saw it's very minor, isn't it?
It's
real minor.
It's the bottom fin, isn't
The
it?
fins on them is different. One of them's full fin, one of them's separated.
One of them has a split in it.
Yeah, because I hear, we've had some people that have gone to DNR with some snakeheads that they've caught
Yeah.
in the PD and off the PD. So I could only imagine, and they are mudfish are native here, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're not. I
That's
mean,
the dinosaur that's been here longer than any other. I would think probably most fish, right, Tony?
I have no idea where they originated from or how long they've been here.
They are.
all I know is they can cost you a $9 crankbait in a heartbeat.
In a second,
Yep.
tear up a rod, tear up a net, tear up everything in the boat if you throw them in there.
Yep. In a kayak, in a confined space, let me tell you, if you're not prepared for what that thing's going to do, it's a shock.
Well, I tell you, this is the time of year we talked about it. You love traveling. You love travel fishing. You went down to Cooper River a couple weeks ago.
I'm going back down to Paradise next weekend. Another Heroes on the Water. This is not a tournament. This is just an open thing. They're having a barbecue and a fish come down and hang out kind of deal.
So another fish head, Greg McKelvey, just went to Paradise this week and limited out on trout.
I wouldn't doubt that.
Limited out on speckled trout. He texted me yesterday. But this is a great time of the year to travel. We have been known to go to Santee with our group, take a couple boats and go to Santee this time of the year. And I'll tell you, Santee is a really easy trip.
Yes, Lord.
It is. And I'll tell you, I was had the pleasure of spending a little time on the phone this week with Miss Jane Powell of Santee Cooper Country. And we talked about Santee and exactly, how easy it is to get to everything. And I want to play a little bit of that. You can also go listen to that podcast in full length on any platform, Trilogy Outdoors Podcast. And Miss Jane really promotes and does a good job. And I'll tell you, the other thing about Santee is now with the new public fishery, the public reefs, what do you want to call it? I mean, it's fish habitat that the state is putting out. If you're not sure where you want to fish, and Don, like the three that I fished, where the crappie are, the big crappie, you can get to it easily in your kayak.
Oh, I bet.
Put in a bono.
Yeah.
And you just go right towards the dam. And when you get to that cove to the left where the dam starts, all three are right there.
Okay.
Or put in it short stay and take.
Not like I need to help you, but I'm just telling you can do it.
When I fished down there before, it was, now this has been years ago, was Harry's Fish Camp. I think on a diversion canal.
Yep.
A friend of mine has a place, I'd say a quarter mile from there, and we'd stay there and fish either side of that diversion canal. We always did good. And then when I was a real young guy, I fished with Jason's older brother, Dickie Smith, a couple times down there for striper.
Yep.
And we always did good for striper down there. And I don't remember when we went, but we always did good for striper.
Well, stripers right now, too. And Jane talks about that a little bit. Jenna, we have that set where we could play it?
Of course.
All right, let's play that real quick. We'll come back on the other side of the break behind that, and we're going to get Chef Tommy out here with us, and we're going to dive into the kitchen here at Judy Boone's and see if we can answer some questions, because a lot of people have some preconceived ideas exactly on some of these items that are on the buffet here, and Tommy's going to enlighten everybody on those and exactly why the food here is so good. So,
good.
Let's listen to Miss Jane, and we'll come back on the other side of the break after that. All right, folks, welcome back to Trilogy Outdoors Podcast. And coming up in this segment, I'm joined by Miss Jane Powell from Santee Cooper Country, who I had the pleasure recently of going fishing with. And actually, we went catching, didn't we, Miss Jane?
Yes, we did. We had a great time. It was so much fun. I wish that the wind hadn't been blowing quite so hard that day, because instead of catching a smaller striper, I'm sure we would have caught a trophy size. We got to go back. I'm
in. You just tell me when, and I'll tell you, Captain Joseph Dennis did a great job that day, and y'all did. Have you ever seen that thumper box? Was that your first time ever seeing the thumper box like he had?
Yeah, I've never heard of such. It was like a metronome, that they use at piano lessons.
Yeah.
But what a great idea. It seemed to work, because if you sit, you can sit and watch the stripers. They were under there, so we called them.
That's right, we did, and you and I were talking before we started recording about how nice it would be to be there now, because the next couple months are, Santee Cooper is known. A lot of people don't understand the facts and the about the stripers overall in this country, freshwater stripers, and how they pretty much all have a genetic relationship to Santee Cooper.
That's right.
You're
That's
aware of
right.
that. You're aware of that. I knew that.
Yeah, the Santee Cooper Lakes are known. We're known from all over the country as the home of the landlocked striped bass.
Yep.
And as you were just referring to, our Santee Cooper Lakes. First of all, I live on Lake Marion, and secondly, I love my job because, my gosh, this, just to promote life and recreation and just fun, for the Santee Cooper Lakes is not even a job. So I almost feel guilty for taking a salary. But anyway, but I
Don't say that too loud.
Well, we don't know. We might just want to whisper that. But anyway, no, when our lakes were created, they were created as part of FDR's New Deal. And, they started creating them. And we have a lot of the swamps, and, we have the river that ran through this area that goes all the way out to the Charleston Harbor. So a striped bass, of course, all of you guys out there realize this, but, they're game fish. But they have to spawn in fresh water. So, they would come in from the Atlantic Ocean and come way up the river, to go ahead and spawn. So, when they were building the lakes, when FDR and Santee Cooper Public Service Authority was out creating what's now known as the Lake Marion and Lake Moultrie, then they were having to clear cut all the timber away. They were huge encampments of men out there, removing trees, especially on the lower Lake Moultrie. And World War II was breaking out, so they started in 1939 creating the lakes. But World War II was broke out, and so they had to go ahead and they had to dam up the lakes because they needed to have the power from the generator down in Mott's Corner. And so in doing so, they knew that there was going to be stripers that were going to be locked in and did not have a way to escape to get back out in the ocean.
Right.
So, as genetics would have it, you don't mess with Mother Nature, but doggone if they didn't find a way to create and genetically form to live in fresh water. So back to what you were saying, just to circle back real quick, the stripers in our lakes learn to live freshwater, and so we have the hatcheries that Santee Cooper is great, and the Department of Natural Resources, they have hatcheries around the state, and they have the fingerlings. So just about every lake in our country has their stripers that come back to their beginnings right here in our lakes in South Carolina. What a story, huh?
It is an awesome story, and I tell you, folks, just so you know, she's not a biologist, okay? She is there to promote another slice of God's heaven, the Santee Cooper country, but the lady understands fish, trust me, and she understands the incredible place that she lives and promotes, just like she said. But it is so cool when you think about it. You think about Tennessee, all our friends in Tennessee that fish, that go up there and they brag about Douglas Lake and all the big fish. Well, guess what, folks? Y'all can thank us for that,
That's right.
You can thank us.
And I'll tell you something else. And even though back when we were out striper fishing, I've already got a message this morning. This morning, I've got a message from Captain Joe Dennis with, he's already sent us he's been out this morning with a crew, and they've already caught their limit of stripers. They're just laid out on the dock. So yeah, we definitely have to go back and go striper fishing because I want to catch a big one.
I am in, and you just let me know when I will be there. Trust me, we can go over and see our good friends over at the landing and campground again and leave from there because I had a blast. And I told you I had so much fun the weekend that we were there with you that I turned around and booked a vacation the following weekend with my family. And to think it takes me an hour and 15 minutes, by the way, to get it takes me an hour and 15. I'm sorry, I had a phone call coming through. It takes me an hour and 15 minutes from my house to get to some part of the lake, not right. the closest part, but an hour and 40 minutes for me to get to the diversion canal. I
That's
mean,
right. And
that
I
is
bet it takes
close.
you an hour and 40 minutes just to get over to Myrtle Beach.
You know,
Now,
you know
you
where
know,
I
it's
live.
you know, it's crazy. We've got South Carolina has become so popular, and there are so many people that are now moving into South Carolina that you'd be surprised with, again, back in the Conway, Myrtle Beach, Pawleys Island, in that area, that they really don't realize that we're just an hour, an
Yes.
hour and 15 minutes here. And you've got, when I say large lakes, Lake Marion is the largest lake in the state of South Carolina. So we're located just inland from the coast. Largest lake in South Carolina, Lake Moultrie is the third largest lake. So if you combine the two lakes, Marion and Moultrie, then you've got the largest lake system in the state. So it
Yep.
covers over 170,000 acres of water. So you can go out there and you can find your own little piece of heaven.
Yes,
And
you can.
maybe not even see a boat the rest of the day. It's just such a massive lake. And I'll tell you something else. We have with the fresh water from down on the southern part of the state. I know that like in the Beaufort area, we're the closest freshwater lake to that part of the state. So, a lot of these people that are moving in, they sometimes may want to just come in and get away from the coast, get away from the salt air, and come in and enjoy the fresh water. We've got fabulous camping. I mean, there's campgrounds, waterfront campgrounds alone. We've got over 23, 24 that are waterfront. Just like you were saying, we
Right.
went out of Hills
Hills.
Landing.
Yep.
Hills Landing down in Cross, which is right on the diversion canal. The diversion canal is the diversion canal is a piece of water that's about 7 miles long that connects Marion and Moultrie. So, and it's while we're talking about that, let me say this: great camping. But yeah, Hills Landing, they have new owners down there. They've got, and this is perfect time, by the way, to come camping
It
on our
is.
lakes. It's beautiful here right now. The fall foliage is gorgeous. The sun is dancing. I mean, the light coming off the water, it makes me not want to be at work. I want to go camping myself. But, another thing that's fun that is locals, and I think you might have done this when you came with your family, that, just on the other side of, you've got Lake Marion, then you've got the diversion canal, then you've got Lake Moultrie. At the end of Lake Moultrie, we also have a local favorite, which is the Panopolis Lock.
Right.
That's a great time. And I think you said maybe you had experienced that for the first time.
Oh, we did, and I'll tell you, it was incredible. All right. So when we went in, obviously, it was a little bit slower. There was only one other boat going in with us, but the lock master or whoever had time to come over and chat with us, and he was just awesome. And he knew a lot of history, and he knew about the, having to do with FDR and everything else. And he let us kind of stand up and let us look. Get out and showed us how we could look down and see. That 75 foot from up top is incredible, and to the point where my 9-year-old, my 6-year-old, and me were all kind of like, okay, this is scary, but it's not.
I know. When you think about, especially that you came in from the lower part, so listen, it's a local favorite. I mean, people from Charleston come in from the coast. They come up, through the Tail Race Canal, and they come up to go through the locks. People here, I've done it, and it's a great weekend where you can get 2 or 3 your buddies, and you've got a convoy of boats.
Yep.
You can take off and you go through the bottom of Lake Moultrie, and it's almost like an infinity swimming pool. I mean, you just stop, the lake just ends.
It does.
So again, it just ends. So you you let them know you're coming. It's free of charge. You don't have to pay anything to go through the locks. But all of a sudden, it's like these massive wooden doors. It's like the parting of the waters. And then, like you're saying, you pull your boat in, you're tethered to each other, and then when the doors shut and they start lifting you down, and you can see the water trickling through the doors from the top. I mean, it's just, you have to experience. It really is so cool.
Well, every day is a boat show.
Every day.
Today.
And by the Freedom Boat Club, where your boat is.
And listen, that PSA we've been playing for them, that sounds like an awesome event next Saturday.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
Awesome event. Oh, look at there. Here comes a delivery of food. And speaking of food here at Judy Boone's, we've got the one and only, he said, I'm a cook, I'm not a chef. Tommy Wilson is joining us now. And Tommy, thank you so much for coming in early to sit with us.
Thank y'all.
You know, last week or 2 weeks ago when I was here, you took me on a little trip because I made a comment. I said something about canned lima beans and something else. And you enlightened me real quick on that. You know, it's hard to brag about how good your lima beans are, but your lima beans are good. And I think I was asking you about salt, wasn't it?
It was.
Because my thing is, obviously, we know that a lot of your crowd is some of the older folks who don't eat a lot of salt, but yet I find myself grabbing, lima beans, and most of the time, all your items have just enough salt for me that I don't have to dump more salt on it. And I said, so whatever can you're using, and you said, you brought me back to the back. Everything's the recipe here.
It is. It's from scratch.
Where'd you get that from?
It started up the road a little ways.
That's right. Well, you can talk. Hey, that's okay. But hey, recipes are really good in the sense of passing them down.
Right.
Tony's got a family recipe for, what do y'all make? Mexican
Hot tamales.
hot tamales. They got a family recipe, and it don't leave that house. Your recipe?
Hell, I don't know it.
Yeah, they won't even tell Tony.
They won't share it with me.
No, but that was Miss Ellie Mae Smalls. That's
Yep.
where they originated.
That's what I thought. I figured it was Miss Ellie Mae.
It was.
And your lima beans are fresh frozen,
They are.
along with everything else. Your black-eyed peas, you do the same thing?
That's what I showed you out there that day. I wanted to enlighten you and show you exactly what we did.
Well, last night I was with a group of people, and we were talking, and I told them that we were coming here to do the show, and I was talking about, in my conversation, and I just was surveying. I told Jason, everybody figured you had one of those big racks with all the cans laying sideways. You just pull from a rack, open up a can, dump it in, heat it up, and go.
No.
Nope, that's not how it works.
That's not how it works.
And the other thing you amazed me
I
was,
say, if you do, I want you to tell me where to get that can of dressing you make around here. I want me a big can of that.
how about the flounder? You should have seen the flounder back there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my favorite. Every time I eat here, I'm always picking up the flounder and eating them. They're
Well-
so perfectly fried and everything.
I'm going to tell you, the flounder looked good.
And I don't mind showing you exactly where we start with it. That's the way to do it.
That
It
is,
keeps everybody honest.
yep. And well, I mean, you were showing me all kinds of stuff back there. But, a lot more goes into food prep here than what people think.
Yes. It's all-day jobs.
What time do y'all start prepping food here?
Some of them, they start parts of it the night before.
That's what I was going to say. Somebody said, like, with turkey and stuff like that, when you do your turkey and dressing, you start the evening before, don't you?
They'll be putting the oven this afternoon for in the morning.
Wow. How about your barbecue? Let's talk about that.
It's Prosser's Barbecue,
That is great.
the original Prosser's.
The original.
Yes.
And it's good. People love it. People love it.
People love this place. I mean, I have never.
Have you been down here on a Sunday? Have you, you're normally fishing. Have you driven by here on a Sunday?
Yeah, you
Cars.
You can't find a parking spot. They're parked down the road. I mean, that's just a testament to what you do. I mean, obviously, people will come far and wide just to eat your recipes, which is awesome.
Hey, we're blessed on this. We never dreamed it'd take off like this when we started this.
I know. I bet Bean was nervous. Huh?
He's calm all the time.
Whatever. Yeah. We were talking about the group of restaurants that he has, and Driftwoods, again, I eat there a lot. I go to Driftwoods.
I eat there quite
I love it. I mean, they promote it as, waterfront seafood
Right.
served at a fair price. You just don't have the waterfront in front of you. And that's the truth. My kids go there. You know what they love? Fish dip.
Oh,
The
God.
little
Oh.
cup of
Oh,
fish
God.
dip.
Oh,
My favorite.
with the captain's wafers.
With the captain's wafers.
Y'all making me hungry.
They do. Do you know anything about that fish dip? Where does it come from? Who makes it? No,
They make it in house, but I don't know.
it's good. I don't care. It is good. And I've heard. I know a lot of locals here that swear they have the best fish dip, and they love to do it with mackerel, king mackerel.
Which is the predominant fish to make fish dip with.
Yep. And whatever it is, I don't know. You can't get enough on my table.
Yeah, I don't care if it's mullet, mudfish, garfish, whatever kind of fish it is, it's good. I love it.
And another item that I'm really going to brag about, and I think you're doing it here on the buffet line too, is the salmon.
We do it every Friday night.
Wow, that salmon! I got salmon the last time I was out at Driftwoods. I got salmon, and I got it with the bourbon glaze, the sweet glaze. Oh my God, it was ridiculous. It was good. Everybody that's listening right now, if you're hungry, Judy Boone's will be opening up here shortly.
I was about to say, they're going to have a line stretch from here all the way to Surfside, the way we were talking.
I just walked inside for a minute.
Smell it?
Can you already smell it?
No, I didn't have to smell it. I walked right over there to the buffet. I had to go to the little boys' room for a minute, and the buffet was already steaming in there, and there's food already.
Did you slap your hand when you went by and said
yep,
no?
Yep. I
understand.
I had to make myself walk way wide of it.
That's why I'm outside here. If they let my big behind in there, it's not going to be a good thing. So.
Hey, and it's about 20 degrees warmer in there, too.
Oh,
Yeah, I know. Who had this great idea of sitting out front?
I want to know where the sunshine you was bragging on was going to be up by 8 o'clock.
or 70 degrees.
Tony, you gotta agree with me though. It was when we got here at 7:30. It was almost warmer than it is now.
It was.
It was.
You text me and said, it's 52 outside right now, because I was like, are we inside or outside? And he said, it's only 52 degrees, for God's sakes. And
I'm over here shivering and got long underwear on. I got long underwear on too. Another thing my kids love here is your brownies. Are they made in the house?
We make them in house,
Do you really?
but we get the powder and stuff and make.
Yeah, but they're unbelievable. They are. The brownies are good. I can't decide if I like the pineapple or the apple or the peach cobbler better.
Well, both of them they're neck to neck in a race now.
They're good. They're good. You ever had those?
Yeah.
Jason, you ever?
I'm over here licking my chops. Y'all are just talking all about these food items.
That homemade Cool Whip on them.
Oh,
Man,
Yep. And now I'm hungry. Now we're gonna have to go in there and eat.
this is like watching those Food Network shows. When you watch them, you just immediately want to go eat everything or go to the grocery store and buy the whole grocery store.
Well, I'll tell you, I know you're a busy man, and you guys just have crushed it over here.
consistency, man. Consistency. And
that's the name of it, consistent.
The recipe game, that's why there's so much consistency. And it's much appreciated, because I know what I'm getting when I come here. I know exactly what the chicken ball is going to taste like. I know what the dressing's going to taste like.
But that's huge, and that's overlooked at a lot of places.
People come back for the same thing.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
So
when they're coming,
if it's not consistent, you're going to lose business.
Yeah, I mean, you're driving from Florence. I know people that drive from Florence just to eat here, and that's the one thing they say is I can't wait to taste it. Like you said, I mean that's.
And I've got friends that I've introduced from Conway that have never come down. They're in the inlet all the time,
Right.
and they said we've never stopped by there. They didn't even know you're a buffet, and he owns a big landscaping business, and he's down here a lot. And now he is a loyal Judy Boone's fan.
Fantastic.
And those, exactly. And you come here at lunchtime, if you get here at 12, 15, you're going to be in for a little bit of a wait. But it's a buffet, folks.
It goes fast.
It goes quick.
Yes.
It goes quick. Sundays are, you might
different
wait.
story. That's a beast.
Yeah. But, we all got our religion.
Worth it.
We
every minute.
We all get our religion in the morning, and we got to go get us a good old meal in.
We got all the Judy Boone's girls over here with Jamie.
There's all the girls.
And waving.
And that was the other thing I was going to say. First, the food is great. Secondly, every single one of y'all, every staff member here, it is, when you come in here, it is, when you think comfort food. When you think Southern, you're thinking you're going to get hospitality, you're going to get great treatment, and that's how it is here. And
I've never seen a waitress, a busboy, a server, anybody. I've never seen anybody in here walking around with a mad look on their face.
Nope.
Never. I can honestly say that 100%. I've never seen nobody that looked like they was having a bad day. Now, they may do, and they may just hide it very well, but I've never seen it. They're always laughing, smiling, cutting up.
Yep, that's it. You always got a smiling face when you walk in the door at the counter. That's
They're
for sure.
making faces.
Yeah.
They're making faces at Tommy. Making faces at Tommy. Well, I tell you what, it is unbelievable, and it feels so great inside. You know, I like the way that Bean y'all didn't change things up in there. You know, I know he tried it as, you know, a regular restaurant prior to going to the buffet, and Tony and I ate here several times. The food was great, as you're going to expect out of Bean. But I think the buffet, you nailed the bullseye when y'all switched over.
Good deal. I mean, that's what our aim was, to pull business.
Going into the holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas, obviously y'all going to be busy, I think. People can pre-order.
I was just about to talk about that.
Yeah, so,
Yes.
you know, if we got family we're going to have over the house and we want to fool them into thinking that we cooked, we can pre-order everything, can't we? You do everything.
We do everything.
What's a good time span? If you're going to do that, give them a week. Try to give you a week.
I would go ahead and get them in as soon as possible because the quantity of orders that we've got already.
Yep.
It's going to take time.
What is your number one holiday dish that y'all get orders for?
Hey, it's an even span across it. There's no particular one, to be honest with you.
I didn't know if it would be barbecue.
Barbecue,
or-
that's what I was
Barbecue,
thinking.
macaroni and cheese would be
Between
my
the
guess.
barbecue and the fried chicken.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
I'm the macaroni guy. I love y'all's
me too.
macaroni. Good Lord.
I'm the fried chicken guy, but lately everybody's starting to get into the chicken legs, and that's my favorite part, and that's the kids' favorite. And I normally have to sit there and wait for a refill to get plenty of legs.
I
but
need to order a case of just legs for you.
I was going to say, you done started something now. Every time you come in and out, Tommy's going to have you 4 chicken legs stuck off to the side somewhere.
Well, and the is it short ribs? Is that what you call them? Short the ribs? Golly, those are great too. That's another item that I typically have not tried on the buffet until here, and they're soft, moist. I mean, great. And the pork chops are good. Everything's good.
And we do the pork loins and cut them ourselves every day.
Everything's good, and I always have to make sure I get plenty of hush puppies and rolls.
Got to have them.
The rolls are good, but man, we love it. Y'all come down to Judy Boone's, and I tell you what, we're going to do one more gift card. Here's the deal: we got 20 minutes left? No, 15 minutes left.
15, yeah.
All right, so everybody's up and at 'em. We're right here sitting in front of Judy Boone's. Chef Cook Tommy Wilson sitting here with us. Pull up, the Trilogy Outdoors Tundra sitting right here. Pull up and tell us you heard it on the Gator, and we're going to give you a $25 gift card to come here and enjoy and hang out with Tommy and enjoy some of his great cooking and great food here. But Tommy, thank you so much.
Thank
We're
you.
going to talk some more fishing. You're more than welcome to sit and keep talking fishing.
Hey, I'll let Jamie work.
Yeah, let Jamie keep working.
That would be a change of pace.
Let Jamie keep working. Good. Well, I tell you what, there's Jason, what's charters been like? How's the business been? Is it
We definitely are
Transition?
It's transitioning. You know, we're not quite as busy as we were at the end of summer and the beginning of fall. But the thing that people don't realize is the best fishing of the year starts right now. And so what we're seeing, which is typical this time of year, is we're real busy on the weekends. And the weekdays kind of, hit and miss. But you talk about incredible fishing. There's a reason why we got the Inshore Slam Tournament coming up in 2 weeks. This is it. I mean, some of the best trout fishing you'll see all year, best red fishing, flounder. They're still catching king mackerel on the beach probably for another week. Still getting a few of those bull reds. I mean, now's the time to come fishing.
Yeah, I saw some big bull reds caught. Actually, Stephen Goldfinch went out. They went out last week, one day on one of those last calm days that we had, because it's been blowing every day.
It's been blowing every day.
It's been blowing. That's the other thing that kind of kept y'all kind of stuck in the creeks. But the Big Bull Reds, they went sight fishing for them on the beach.
Wow.
They were chasing them in Georgetown on the beach.
Fun.
Yeah, sight fishing for them, and that does sound like a lot of fun.
Oh my God!
In that shallow water.
I can't imagine. I watched that on TV. I can't imagine seeing it in person.
Yeah. Speaking of TV, who's in Charleston? Is that open to public? Is that event open to the public?
You have to sign up ahead of time.
Okay.
It is one of the biggest Shimano events in the country. They've got C.A. Richardson there. They've got Carter Andrews, the world-renowned Carter Andrews, and they are stacked with bass guys. I think you could sign up 5 minutes before you go. It's from 9 to 3 today. It's right there. The coolest thing about this, it's at the Shimano's factory headquarters.
Right. It's at the headquarters.
If you've ever been in that place, when you walk in, the coolest display I've ever seen in my life, they have their reels broken down into every single part in shadow boxes on the wall, so you could see from every little washer and spring and screw. Probably one of the coolest displays I've ever seen in fishing.
No, thank you, because I that would just I can't do it. No,
So how many reels have you ever made an attempt to clean and
None.
take apart?
Zero.
And
Zero.
put all the parts back?
Zero. That's why I got that new spray. I got that new spray. I just spray it on there and let it.
Real magic and let it ride.
That's what most fishermen do. They'll crack the seal on them and then hit them with the water hose and then shoot new grease in them. But it's crazy to think about. I mean, I think the one of their spinning reels, has almost 200 individual parts to make it work. Like, you would never guess that.
Yep.
So.
Well, you know what we're going to have to do is I got to find out. Jason? Who do we have now that we can send fish heads to, or we can go to? Who do we have for reel repair? I know we can drop it off at Paulie's Island Outdoors. I know Will's got a guy down there. Do we have anybody up here? We don't, do we?
I don't think we have anybody.
I don't think we do either.
We had some wonderful guys locally. One of them moved away. I think one of them relocated their shop to a different area. But yeah, there's definitely a lacking in the service department side of it.
Because we're coming into, a lot of people this time of the year that are scared of cold weather, might not fish much, but this is a great time over the next couple months to get your reel serviced.
It is.
And I'm going to tell you from experience, servicing your rods and reels can make a big difference in how long they last.
Yeah, I mean, I know from
Jamie, quit laughing at me.
From a charter guide standpoint, if we take care of these rod and reels, we'll get a couple seasons out of them. But we're using them every single day. If you don't, a lot of the times when you let them sit up over the winter and you don't use them, and that, oil and stuff starts to break down and stuff, and that's when you have problems. You go in the springtime, you're ready to go. You put new line on your favorite reel, and you go out there and you get the old grinder, and then you're like, uh-oh.
All right. The other thing I do need to mention, Captain Scott Lambert called me from Palmetto State Armory to let me know.
Yes.
You already know?
I already know. I already got mine coming.
To let me know that if you remember back during the grand opening, what was the combo? It's a pin battle
on the Pin Battle 3
on the G Loomis. No,
on a Fenwick rod.
Fenwick.
Yep.
And you'll never believe the price ever.
Nope.
Mine got destroyed. I never got the tie lure on it.
$99 out.
Yep, they're doing it again. Black Friday. Yep.
That reel by itself is usually $130. So basically, you're getting a portion of the reel free and the rod for free. And he said they got a big shipment coming in. He texted me yesterday.
That is awesome.
Our charter guides right now are licking their chomps going.
That is one of the absolute best trout rods you ever put in your hand.
Yep.
$99, like that's ridiculous.
I can't even see that.
It probably cost you $30 just to put line on it, and I mean $99. Anyways, I told some of our guides there at MIFC, and they're lined up today, getting ready for as soon as he gives us the word, we're going up there to get a bunch.
Now I'll tell you another rod that I have been super impressed with, rod and reel combo that I've been super impressed with, and both our friends at Inlet Rocks Bait and Tackle and at Perry's Bait and Tackle carry a lot of them, and that is the 13 combos.
Mm-hmm. A lot of our captains use those.
They are great combos. They really rods. Do. They fish great. They hold up. They seem to hold up, and a lot of the charter guys are using them.
Yeah. Captain Crystal, that's all she uses. Captain Hayden uses those, and they come in some cool colors. They have
they do.
That lime green one. Every time I see that one, I'm just like, somebody went in my head and just took my ideas and threw it on a rod and reel. So, but it is.
Stay out of my donuts.
Oh.
All right, folks. The one and only Jamie Johnson has joined us. I suckered him into sitting down now. He's been trying to avoid it. But since Tommy had to get on here, we're going to make Jamie get on here a little bit and talk to us.
Yeah, this guy told us now. You didn't hear this, but
Yeah.
he told us, well, Tommy, he's kind of quiet and shy, and you have to kind of get it out of him. I'm sitting there thinking to myself, is he talking about the same Tommy?
Tommy that I know? I know.
That's not the same dude.
No.
Now let's see who's the shy one in this crowd right
Oh,
here.
yeah.
Jamie.
Thank you guys for welcoming.
So Tommy keeps all that chaos organized in the kitchen. It's your job to keep it organized out front.
No, it's all Tommy. Now we are blessed to have Tommy and, in my opinion, Inlet's best staff. So the girls and the guys in the kitchen, with Tommy's help, make this place run 1,000% through and through every day. Tommy's here 7 days a week, and so are our kitchen staff. So all I have to do is open up the doors and keep the lights on. They do the rest. So it's Tommy's show. Like I said, I just have to keep the doors open and the lights on.
Well, y'all do a great job here. JB, you do a great job keeping that staff happy, keeping them here. We were talking about that, how awesome. Yep, there's the sun.
There it is.
There's the sun. We were talking about how good a job and your staff does. They are awesome. They're always, and you've got everything from, I'm guessing, 15 and 16-year-old hostesses.
We've got 15-year-old, 16-year-old young ladies and gentlemen hosting, busing, to we even have a few young at heart ladies who are servers in the 60s, and they're just phenomenal. They work their tails off. We are open, like I said, 6 days a week, Tuesday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., and then Sunday, 10:30 now. We open up 30 minutes early, and we close now at 2 o'clock on Sundays.
I just heard that. Shannon just told me that y'all started closing at 2 now on Sundays.
These girls and guys work their tails off. Like I said, I don't know how they do it.
That closing at 2 on Sunday, I mean, I've seen people lined up still trying to come in.
And we get them in. Listen, we get them in. Don't worry, we're not going to turn away anyone. We just have, whenever you have so many people, we have 3,000 people come in through the week. It takes a little bit extra time for us as a staff to get back to recuperate and get ready for the next business day. So we cut it an hour earlier than we had been, just so we could start getting everything cleaned, restocked, and also to give some of them a little break.
Yep.
A little break.
Yep.
That's it.
It's still you hear so many places struggling to find help, struggling to keep help when they get it, and it doesn't seem y'all are short-staffed. You seem to keep your staff
blessed.
We are truly blessed.
And again, that goes through. I'm pretty sure Pork and Link probably doesn't have the trouble, and Dripwoods doesn't have trouble, and again, I even in one of the ads, I talk about Bean and how
it starts
incredible restaurateur that he is.
It starts with him. He's phenomenal.
Yep, he is. And I hate we missed him this morning. I know he's busy. He's what's he doing this morning? You can say he's cooking.
Blessed to help out some people at Blaine Church. We're doing a brunch, but he's been here. He met me. He actually beat me here this morning. And right now, the guys are helping him out in the back, cooking for him. But he's doing a brunch for Blaine, helping them out. But Tommy had to do some special ordering, some items that we don't carry. But now Bean's been cooking it at the actual location, and then come back here to get the rest of it. So he's 100% 7 days a week also.
Yeah, and Tommy already covered. We talked about pre-ordering for the holidays for food. And make sure you go ahead and get the order in now.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So November 19th will be the last day we take any catering orders for Thanksgiving.
Okay.
And then you'll be able to pick it up that Wednesday, the 22nd. And we close at 8 o'clock that night. And then Thanksgiving Day will be open at 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. for $15.99. Oven roasted turkey, baked ham, Tommy's special dressing, mashed potatoes, giblet gravy, green beans, rolls, mac and cheese, fried chicken, Prosser's very own pulled pork barbecue, everything.
He's killing me.
Everything.
He's killing me. This is like the torture. Let me tell you about how great everything is here. I'm just sitting here licking my chops all day.
Well, I'll tell you what, folks. Listen, come on down. They're going to be opening up here in about an hour, right? 11? They'll be opening up in an hour. Come on down and eat. And it's been a pleasure to be down here. And we're going to, we might hang out and eat lunch. So it's been a blast. And everybody get out on the water. Go fishing this week. Post your pictures. Send us your pictures. We need some Judy Boone's photos of the month. Make sure you send them to us. And don't forget deer. Black Mingo Venison Processor said that the rut is in full effect. He has been taking in some huge bucks. And don't forget to register for the Big Buck and the Big Doe contest down there. We're proud sponsors of that. And, Jenna, if you're ready, we'll go ahead and I'll start closing this thing out.
Go for it.
All right, folks. Listen, it's been a great time. Thanks on behalf of Bert Williams. Thank you from Monarch Roofing for coming in. Don Neesmith for coming in. On behalf of Chef Tommy, Mr. Jamie Johnson over here.
Thank you.
On behalf of the Flounder Pounder, Jason Burton, Tony the Bassmaster Carter, and Super Jenna back there keeping things in at the studio. I'm Captain E, and this has been the Southern Anglers Radio Show on the Gator 107.9.
You're clear.